When Jasmine suddenly experienced extreme abdominal pain, she thought it was menstrual cramps. But when the pain became unbearable, she phoned her mom, who insisted she call an ambulance. At the hospital, doctors discovered a breech baby between her legs, and Jasmine didn't even know she was pregnant.
You are having a baby.
I looked at her like she had 4 heads. I'm like, no, there's no way, I can't be pregnant. I didn't understand how it could possibly be because I'd taken the morning after pill.
What's going on?
Jasmine, this is a very serious situation.
I said I need to do an emergency C-section right now because the baby is presenting feet first. The blood supply that goes to the baby can be compromised, and within minutes you can have brain damage and then ultimately fetal death. So you only have a few minutes to deliver the baby before major complication can happen.
I screamed the whole way from the ER to the OR. My entire mind was in complete shock. I didn't know anything. I didn't know if my child was alive.
Oh my God, oh my God.
Moments later, Jasmine's mother arrives.
I'm looking for my daughter.
One of the nurses told me, please go to the OR. She's having emergency surgery. And I said, for what?
Surgery?
And they said she's having a baby. I just couldn't believe it. It was quite a shock.
At 9:10 in the morning, they told me I was having a baby, and by 9:12, I was on the OR table being put under.
Okay, she's ready.
The moment the anesthesiologist told me that I could start, I started the incision, and within 5 minutes, I was right at the uterus. When I opened the uterus, I pretty much just grabbed the baby by the shoulder and just pulled the baby out.
Come on, baby. Come on. Oh, it's a girl.
It was a baby girl, and she was crying. I am the one who clamped and cut the umbilical cord.
Soon, Dr. Hamill discovers the surprise birth has caused a major complication.
We need blood to that leg quickly.
What's going on? Is everything okay?
They had told me that her leg had passed through the birth canal. It didn't appear that the blood flow was going to the limb.
How's she doing?
If doctors can't get the circulation back, they may have to amputate the baby's leg.
When I heard that, that was like, wow. I was extremely concerned.
I'm attending to the baby,
Check the capillary again.
and then all of a sudden, I can hear my nurse practitioner.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, doctor!
So I turned my head, and what I saw was an arm sticking out of the uterus.
It's twins.
And my head was like, that cannot be. That's when I realized there's a second baby there.
We have another baby, guys.
And the second baby was also breech. The team were set up to get one baby, so here we go. We have 2 babies.
Page another neonatal team, stat.
That was a very stressful moment. Give the first baby to the pediatrician and then grab the second baby girl.
Oh, God. She's not breathing.
The second baby had no tone, was not breathing. She was very pale. It was scary. I didn't think she was alive.
Jasmine's mother, a nurse, waits anxiously for some news.
I just wanted to give you an update. Your daughter is having twins.
They said she not only had 1 baby, she had 2 babies. And I said, what?
They're delivering the second baby right now.
You gotta get oxygen on her right away.
The nurses informed me that the baby could not sustain respiration on her own and that they had been working on her to get her to breathe.
How's she doing?
Still not breathing.
I was very concerned.
Doctors managed to get blood flow to the first twin's leg, and soon after, start the second twin breathing on her own. But at 5 pounds 11 ounces and 4 pounds 14 ounces, the full-term baby girls are very small and at risk for hypothermia, dehydration, and anemia.
One of the biggest challenges of treating a woman who didn't know she was pregnant would revolve around the treatment of the baby when it was born. These babies spend a very long time in the neonatal intensive care unit. The baby just has a hard time getting a foothold on life.
45 minutes after the C-section, Jasmine wakes up.
When I opened my eyes, my mother was sitting across at the end of the bed,
Hey, beautiful.
just kind of looking at me. She looked relieved I was okay. And before I really had a chance to even talk to my mom, the nurse came in and asked me if I had names picked out for my daughters.
What?
You have 2 beautiful twin daughters.
And I just kind of looked at her like, there's more than one. My mind was racing with a million thoughts.
Mom, what if they're not okay?
All the things that I did when I was pregnant and didn't know it, that I shouldn't have. The drinking, the smoking, really started to crash down on me.
Anything positive?
I was very worried about losing them. They were very small. They had to be kept in incubators to keep their body temperature up. It was definitely quite scary. I felt like my entire world had just fallen apart.
While concern is high for the newborn twins, doctors are just as worried about Jasmine.
Twin pregnancies can be very high-risk pregnancies. Her blood pressure was elevated. She was far from being out of the woods.
I felt really, really nauseous.
You okay?
No.
I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna be sick.
She started vomiting just profuse amount. She was so ill. I was in a panic. They called in a lot of different specialists. She had CAT scan of her abdomen and pelvis. She had chest x-rays. And then it became apparent what her problem actually was.
She has HELLP syndrome.
HELLP syndrome is a form of severe preeclampsia where the red blood cells are destroyed. So these ladies can have bleeding issues, they have certainly liver problem, and severe anemia.
We're going to start treatment right away.
As 48 hours passed, Jasmine took a turn for the worst. She had to have an NG tube inserted because she had a small bowel obstruction. Her red blood cell hadn't come back up.
She was very sick. Any of these complications could end in a very bad situation. I was absolutely concerned for her survival, for sure.
It was overwhelming. I had great concern for the babies.
10 days later, to everyone's relief, Amber's prayers are answered.
She started to do much better. They took her nasal gastric tube out.
Jasmine, it all went well, and it all looks really good.
Thankfully, she responded well to all the treatments we did.
After I was fully awake and out of the general grog, I hadn't seen my girls.
Where's my babies?
They're good.
When Jasmine got to see her daughters, I think it was such a state of shock for her.
I walked in and they just looked at me and cooed and went with their hands like they were reaching for me. It was one of the best feelings in the world.